Hello, and welcome to another episode of Carpenter. And now your storyteller, Devin.
That's me! Hi, this is a game and I made it and now we're gonna play. So when we last left off, there was a 2-year time jump. Dr. Grudge was trying his hardest to fill everybody in on things, and mostly people wanted to surf Facebook because reasons. And Edge was asleep. Is there anything else really? Oh no, sorry. And then when we really ended, everybody was going back to Dr. Grudge's to take a nappy poo, and Connor was gonna go on a dream walk.
Don't forget Sky and Rudolph bumped the ugliest.
Ooh, that's right. There was more fucking.
You're welcome.
All right.
That is a thing that happened.
Can we all ask? How was it?
Not technically rape.
Is it Rudolph's first time?
Well played. Well played.
There probably was some sympathy tears at the end.
Well, that's an excellent question, actually, given the nature of his current mental state. There might not have been tears. It wasn't his first time. He has been married before.
It was just a little bit of whimpering going on there.
Yeah, it was desperate. Put it that way.
Question. When you think of your wife's face, is it now your wife's body and Sky's face?
Not quite.
Yeah, no, if I could make a guess as to how this went based on Rudolph's current mental condition, I would assume there was a lot of... Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense.
That's how I imagine most of it going. And then
there was a significant amount of apologizing, I'm sure.
Right, and then at the very, very end, like, you know, both lay back down, and he goes, "Was that okay?" And then that's the end of it.
Was that before or after the Shazam?
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
So, Dreamscape. Yeah.
Yes, Colin, going on a dream walk with Connor. So I believe you have some rolls to make. Tell me you actually have your ability pulled up.
Yeah,
it's right here in front of me. Luckily for you, I have it pulled up, you piece of fuck.
Well, I have it open to that page. I just got to open the download file really quick. But yes, it's right here on my sidebar. So yeah. 1 second. It's a quick something.
Clifton, sing a song to fill time.
In tavern and we drink our ale, then the night be filled with a dark black veil. We stand as one, no foe will attack this company of Captain Black. From the ports of London to the shores of Spain,
No, we are done. We are done.
Okay.
No, we're not. He hasn't found it yet.
It's open. I'm just enjoying the song now.
Oh, okay.
There is no more dancing.
It's been open for the last 3 bars, but
out of curiosity, what is the name of that song? Because I'm curious.
Captain Black. It's by the Poxy Boggarts. It's great. Look it up.
I like that kind of music, so I'm going to.
Oh yeah.
He likes faux pirate music.
Oh, okay. You don't need to actually roll until you really do something with it, though. So yeah, and you were going into Dr. Grudge's mind. Dr. Grudge was both aware and willing, correct?
Yep.
Eduardo, you want to confirm?
Yeah, I didn't mind so much as long as he didn't fuck about too much.
Yeah, okay. I remember he was aware that it was happening. He was willing, and we both were kind of like, I'm assuming like we're in like Grudge's living room or something, and like lying on the floor, and then everybody else kind of like
I imagine Grudge tucked into his bed and you sitting in a chair, like watching over him while he sleeps, and then falling asleep shortly after. That's just how I picture this very intimate moment.
Oh, I thought we were gonna have a soundtrack in the background, like 16 horses.
Yeah. What was the song from Ghost? It's the song from Ghost. So, yeah, with your ability and your skill level in it,
I 2 dots. Also,
Right.
I asked some of the others to like watch over us while this was happening, just in case anything bad happened. Because sometimes shit.
You're going like full Freddy Krueger, like wake me up.
I'm watching over them.
Not like some of that, but mostly more like I don't really know how to describe it. Almost like if he can't come back, or like if
you go into a
If
fucking
you see an
fever, I'm gonna
excessive
slap your ass
amount
in
of
the-
urine for an adult sleeping, that's the time to intervene.
I feel like
Start, like,
any
pulsing or
urine for an
something.
adult sleeping is an excessive amount.
Now I'm kind of thinking maybe I should tip the chair back so he's just about to fall, you know, kind of do a little Inception type shit.
Take his hand,
that's
put it in a
great.
glass
That's
of warm
totally
water.
great. Seriously though, that's like totally great. Like that's what I imagine this like kind of like Inception. Like there's something you could do to like that to kind of like wake him up. I imagine it kind of for Connor being kind of like a cross between like Inception and like Insidious, you know, where like the like the astral projection that the kid does, you know, where he kind of goes to like the nether, that kind of shit.
You could always just tie him in a chair with the back two legs on the bathtub, leaning backward over it, and whenever he starts freaking out, just cut the cord holding it up and let him splash into it.
So, I'm just gonna cut back into this because fuck you people. So as you start to drift off, where you find yourself, I don't want to say waking up, where you find yourself appearing, where you find yourself suddenly conscious of being, you are in a stadium. There's a lot, like this is like a packed stadium. You're watching a baseball game. And
I'm sitting in the stands.
yeah, you're sitting in the stands, behind home plate, but not like front row. Is it still called front row at a sports ball game? I don't know, but you're sitting there. And I only go to concerts, damn it. So you're sitting there, and coming up to bat.
Oh, he's about to make a touchdown.
Go! And Dr. Grudge is you know, you hear the announcer coming up to bat. What number were you? Pick a number.
7.
Number
69.
7, Dr. Grudge. Big fanfare. People are like freaking out.
Now, is this like true baseball or is this more like basketball?
It's dream baseball. So it's baseball, but the guy selling stuff is selling like Godzilla plushies.
But this
For-
is major
for
league.
no
It's like a
reason.
major league field.
Yeah, Major League Field. And you find yourself holding like a ridiculously large soda and a little pack of Big League Chew. Like a 2 small pack of Big League Chew and a 2 big soda.
Okay, so Connor knows that he's dreaming.
Yeah, you know, you're dream walking. You're aware of what you're doing. You're sitting on somebody's dream. You know that.
Okay, so there's booze in the soda because he's aware that he's dreaming. There's booze in the soda. And he just starts shoving Big League Chew into his mouth.
None of this has any effect on you, goddammit.
No, for sure.
I'm just getting that out of the way.
No,
before you're
totally.
Like,
I'm
pretty
just
gluttonous to be dreaming and drinking. Like,
No.
nope. No, it's not. Shut up.
I'm not saying that.
All right,
I'm just
all
saying,
right.
like, this is just for flavor. This is for
Okay.
so he's like shoving Big League Chew into his mouth. And he's going to look around and he's going to look for anything out of place around him. Anybody that seems to be acting differently in the crowd. He's going to also like kind of be watching, you know, Dr. Grudge to see what he does and what's going down on the field, and kind of just trying to be observant right now before he does anything.
Yeah, and in the dreamscape, just for anybody who's like confused on why there might be less roles or weird roles or different roles, the dreamscape's going to work a little bit different because it's a dream. It's you have some power here, as does Dr. Grudge. So
Especially if we know we're dreaming, right? That's kind
right,
of like
right. So that's
like-
this is not going to be very strict gameplay right here.
Okay.
Eduardo, we always end up in a fucking dream sequence, Eduardo. I don't know why, but we always fucking end up in a dream sequence. So here's your dream sequence.
I know why, because our other GM got real lazy and
That's
true. I don't know how to level you guys. It was all a dream.
So You're not noticing anybody like anymore. Like honestly, most of the people barely even have a face. It's that kind of thing where like they have a face, but it's really generic, you know? You're probably the only person sitting in these seats. Nothing weird, nothing aggressive. This doesn't seem malicious in any way. It's more capacity of the human brain kind of thing. But what you do notice, Dr. Grudge is up to bat, but playing the outfield is a bunch of the mist babies. The weird porcelain bug baby monsters.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of those in the outfield. No, they're playing. They're ready to catch the ball. They got hats and shirts and gloves. They're playing the outfield.
So they're not being aggressive. They're just like that. That's just who they happen to manifest as, kind of thing.
Yes. Okay.
So Connor is going to start walking down the stands towards the field, and so because he's like lucid, he's aware that he's dreaming. Can he affect like what's going on currently in the dreamscape with himself, or is that not something he can do?
You'd need to make rolls to try and affect, because this is not your dreamscape. This is Grudge's dreamscape. You're existing in it, but you're not driving this bus.
Okay.
You're a passenger on this bus. So to affect it, you're going to need to make rolls. I'm not saying you can't do it. There's a roll in here that I'm looking at that I'm going to use for it, but that's how I'm going to rule that.
Okay. Can I try to? What am I wearing right now? Am I just wearing the same clothes I fell asleep in?
Yeah, you're wearing what you fell asleep in.
Okay. I want to try to affect the dreamscape so that I can like be dressed like a baseball player, so I can go down onto the field.
Okay. You will be rolling me. Give me 1 second. What was it?
Always one
Like presence?
5.
It's gonna be wits, resolve, and dream travel. What were you saying, Sky?
You always say 1 second. It's always like 5.
Fuck you! Don't judge my sense of time.
Question though, can I just ask why would this not be like manipulation or composure, or not composure, presence or something? Because technically, like I don't know. Could I use that instead for one of these or no?
Because the book says, regardless of form, the dream attack takes. All attacks are represented by a wits, resolve, and dream travel. And I realize this is not an attack, but you're also not really using this.
For sure, I'm fine with that.
100% the way it goes. So we're using the rules in the book, but in a different way than the book would use them.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And honestly, having the +2 from dream travel is kind of a nice boon. You know what I mean?
3 successes.
You're changing your clothes, so things are not going to be super. You know, there is a running scale. You know what I mean? You change your clothes, no problem with 3 successes. Blam! You're dressed as a player for the same team that Dr. Grudge is playing for.
Cool.
Who did you play for, Dr. Grudge? I don't know real sports teams, so you can make up a baseball one, and I will not know the difference.
I don't want to use a real one, so I played for the Spankies.
What? Give me a city, like the New York Spankies.
Yes, those ones right there.
Yeah, you're wearing a New York Spankies jersey. Jersey? They're still called jerseys, yes?
No, I believe.
No? What are they called in baseball?
I believe it's a blouse.
You're wearing a New York Spankies blouse, and I will hear no substitution. Carry on.
I'm not a sports person either. I don't fucking know.
Do people hate the Spankies just like they hate the Yankees because they can afford to buy really?
I don't know. I don't know who the Yankees are. That's
okay. Well,
let's
real...
go with the total opposite of that.
It's not.
They suck.
The Spankies are like the Padres. Got it. Okay, cool.
The Spankies are great because they can afford all the really expensive sports blouses.
That's right. They have the best blouses.
They're blouses, and the Spankies play like the Padres. Got it. Cool.
I don't know what fathers have to do with this, son.
I don't.
What?
It really doesn't. Is it called a jersey in baseball? What is it called?
I'm pretty sure it's a jersey.
It's a jersey.
Okay.
It's a blouse, guys. It's a blouse.
I mean, it is a blouse now. So yeah, there you're dressed in your blouse. You got your baseball blouse. You got your big league shoe. You're ready for the game, killer.
All right, I'm going to wander down and go in the bullpen.
All right, you're in the bullpen. So remember, he's up to bat.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be sitting there.
And he freezes.
Okay, so Dr. Grudge, you're in this dreamscape. Would you call Dr. Grudge much of a lucid dreamer, or totally not in control of this kind of thing?
I feel like he'd be closer to lucid in the sense that he does a lot of that kind of studying.
So this is a pretty regular dream. You're not quite reliving your glory days, but it's the old baseball dream. You know what I mean? You're up to bat. The crowd's going wild. You just want to show up and fucking deliver, sir. What's this look like for you? You're up to bat. There's some miss babies in the outfield. They don't fucking scare you. This is your fucking house. Home field advantage. What's going on?
Well, at this point, if I'm just getting ready to bat, I take the Velcro on my left glove, do it 3 times, and I'm getting ready. I'm not quite as arrogant to point out to the outfield, but I'm looking deep outfield.
All right. Roll me. I feel like it's different because he's not dream traveling. Does that sound agreeable? That it's kind of a different situation? He is the dreamer, and it's a different role.
Yeah,
I like leading this by committee, man. Do you all agree to that? Is anybody gonna go, that's bullshit later? Does that sound fair?
Because I'm literally not dreaming.
Your logic makes sense.
Okay. Let's call it... Can we call it straight wits? Straight resolve. I feel like it's straight resolve. Roll me a straight resolve.
All right, here we go. Ooh. 2 successes.
2 successes? Yeah, you gear up, you're ready for the hit. You make contact, but it's, you're not slamming out of the park. It's a solid hit, though. The crowd goes wild. You make it to second. You're waiting there at second. I was really hoping Colin was going to be back by this point.
That's calling double.
There you go. You doubled, bro. 2 points, I guess.
So, by the way, the reason I was saying it's a blouse, the uniform you wear in the military, the top is a blouse.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
It's real weird.
Colin says his internet is being a bitch.
Tell him he's being a bitch.
Fair enough. All right,
we will get back to the dream sequence.
Yeah, what is happening while we're sleeping?
Anybody else is trying to... So I guess Rudolph and Sky, fucking... Besides that, I guess that leaves Jack, Squid. What is this? So, Jack, by the time you guys get back to Grudges, you've been napping in your car. Is it up and straight back to sleep? Is there work you want to do between this and your next round of sleep? And Squid, what's going on with you? You've been surfing Facebook. You're kind of settling in for the night. Whether you're going to sleep right now or not, you're at your resting point where you can kind of relax. You can let go a little bit. Get into a routine, start a new project, put a cup to the door and listen to Rudolph and Scott Fuck, whatever you want to do.
If he does that, all he's going to hear is that okay?
Well done. Well done.
I'm gonna finish filling Jack in because he was taking a nap when he went out to his car. And I told him I'd fill him in somewhat, and then when we got back to Art's place, I finished filling him in on all the stuff that we just fucking figured out.
Right. So I know you were very sick. I don't know how here you actually were, like mentally or physically, Edge. But basically last week, Eduardo took pretty much the whole session to just fill you guys in on the 2 years that you've missed out.
I got most of it.
Okay. Yeah, so if there's anything you need to know, we can say he told you, and I can fill you in right now if you have any follow-up questions. I know you were like, you sounded fucking miserable, dude.
I was fucking in hell.
You sounded like, mostly when people are sick, I'm like, okay, Mr. Sniffles, suck it the fuck up. You sounded like fuck. So
he looked on camera like, I'm here, I'm existing, don't expect anything else.
yeah.
Actually, no, I did not turn my camera on.
Yeah, I didn't think so. But yeah, it sounded fuck miserable. So if there's, were there any questions that you would now want to ask to Squid that you want to get filled in on? Is there anything like, basically I'm giving you a chance. Is there anything these guys missed out on that you're curious about?
No.
Okay. Is there anything you want to do with the night besides him filling you in on everything?
Well, my first thing is, having grown up poor, I want my fucking life back. I want my guaranteed income. So, fucking Grudge was mentioning that this group wanted us to be careful what we say, what we do. I want to try to start getting in touch with this group so I can find out what I need to say, what I need to do to get my fucking life back.
Okay. So your goal for the morning is going to be more
Logistics.
looking into the members of the group to figure out what the ground rules are now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll just kind of take this back boomerang and reverse order it. Squid, what are your goals for next morning?
I mean, depending on if the group decides that they want to do anything, the next morning it's going to be a call to my old boss.
Okay.
And see where we are with those sorts of things.
Okay. And then Rudolph and Sky, what are your guys' goals for the next week? You guys going like curtain shopping together? Is brunch in order? What's happening?
First order of business. Try and forget the phrase, is that okay? Is a valid phrase.
Fair.
Second, I want to go out and try and rebuild what I lost. My clientele base.
So she's on her phone going, "Hey, honey, you still?" And then the reply is, "No, I'm married. Get lost, bitch."
New phone, who dis?
Yeah.
Rudolph has started sketching for an art project that is the first one he's worked on in years.
It's just Sky naked.
Has absolutely nothing to do with Sky, actually. But it's mostly involving the crocodile creature and his own wife. Don't draw those two things too close together. But mostly he's trying
her face on it.
Mostly he's trying to avoid. He's coming up with excuses to avoid calling up his brother-in-law, who runs the grocery store that he was working at.
Okay, Clifton, can you do me one favor? Allow me to adjust your story ever so slightly so we can do a roll right now.
Okay.
Before we get started, just because he said he was going to paint, and it.
No, he's just sketching for now.
Well, and my character's particular for details. He sees you actually doing something. He's going to look over your shoulder and go, "So, which kind of what are you aiming for? Impressionist, Cubism? What exactly are you aiming for?"
Don't really know just yet.
And actually, Jack, before you get too far into that sentence, this actually needs to happen first. Clifton, roll me. Yeah, we'll get. Yeah, you lost your turn, motherfucker. No, we'll get back to you. Is that a crafts roll for sketching, Clifton? Like a crafts dexterity?
Usually.
Okay. Roll me a crafts dexterity check, but actually, roll me crafts. This is going to be weird, and just know that there's a thing to this. Roll me crafts and resolve.
Okay.
Oh, I think I know where this is going.
That is 3 successes. All of them 9s.
Oh.
Yeah.
And upside down. No. So as you're drawing, the way you're kind of seeing this scene, what you're going for is your wife running from that crocodile monster, right?
Mm-hmm.
and you spend, this is happening like basically you're done with Sky. You ask if it was okay. You apologize, and you kind of go out to Grudge's living room and you just start sketching, like almost zombie-like. You're done with what you're doing, and now you're on to this next thing. But it's all coherent for you. This isn't a blur. This isn't a daze. You're doing this, and as you're sitting there sketching, it's your wife. It's the forest, it's the fog, and it's the crocodile chasing after her. And about the time, Jack comes down, sees you're sketching, and about the time he finished asking his question, he's close enough to see what you've drawn, just as you're finishing up, spending a good chunk of the night doing this sketch. And as you're finishing up, and he's walking up, Jack, what you and Rudolph both are going to see on this sketch pad is... Jack, to you a lady, Rudolph to you, your wife, running from a man. And as you stare at it, Rudolph, you are sure that you sketched a crocodile. The detail in the scales, the eye, the bullet hole where Jack had hit it, all of the even detail that you're not sure you were there for. You can see it crystal clear in your head. This dragon-esque giant crocodile. And yet, as you look at the picture now, it's a man. It's a shirtless guy with long hair and torn, pants. You're not denim cloth, you don't know, but kind of torn, raggedy pants, no shoes, chasing. Anger on his face, pissed, fury slathered across this guy's face as he chases your wife through the woods. And this is not a guy, you do not recognize this. The guy in entirety is completely foreign to your memory.
You got some unresolved issues you need to take care of there, Chief?
Let me actually, knowing that the answer I gave earlier would have been different. It would have been, God, I wish I knew.
And I'm going to assume that these are not metaphorical. These are actual, detailed, picture.
Think of it almost comic book-esque.
Okay.
Is that fair, Rudolph?
Sure, yeah. Pretty much like the art in the World of Darkness books.
Sure, yeah.
I'm just going to go out on a limb here, Rudolph, and say, if you were trying to aim for something for her to be afraid of, you nailed it, buddy.
Thanks.
As I walk away, I'm like, that's a weird motherfucker. Jesus Christ.
Need to get back out to that forest. So this is just Rudolph mumbling to himself.
Yeah. So if anybody's, unless there's anything pressing that anybody wants to do, anybody care if we jump back into the dream sequence?
Connor.
Okay. So where we left off, Connor, you were sitting in the bullpen, which you see Grudge gets up. He takes a swing. It's a good swing. He lands himself a double, though. And you can tell he was really aiming for more, and he just didn't quite pull it off. What do you want to do?
Is he, what's Grudge doing right now?
Grudge is standing at second base, waiting for the next batter to do his thing. There's nobody on third. Standing next to him is one of the little Miss Babies. Is snapping its little fucking jaws, looking at him, waiting for the ball, checking on him.
I'm just picturing a little goblin or goblinoid or something that's like, come on, eyes on the ball, come on, you ain't gonna steal from me.
Think of a baby that's been forcefully turned into a porcelain praying mantis, and that's the closest I can describe the mist babies.
Okay, so Connor is going to kind of wave to try and get Grudge's attention.
You'd notice because you check on the bullpen. It's over by where the coach stands. I've been to enough sports ball games to see where people stand. There's a guy over there, and you're looking to him for instructions in case it's a steal, in case he's signaling you what kind of hit it's going to be. And you see in there is Connor trying to wave you down.
Connor is going to motion to Grudge to steal.
Is
Well,
the pitcher looking at me?
So, Connor does not know what you used to use as your symbol for steal, so it's mostly him just kind of doing this and going, steal! Steal! Steal!
But I'm not cold.
No, Connor Connor sees that there's confusion on his face, and Connor is like, and he's gonna like go behind the coach, and he's gonna pull his wallet out of his back pocket.
I'm not even gonna make you roll for that because it's too fucking good. That's perfect. Eduardo, that's pretty reasonable. You know Connor well enough to know what he's going for, I think.
Sure. When the pitcher ain't looking at me, I'm gonna try and steal third.
Okay, roll me. What did I have you roll before? Straight resolve?
Yeah, I believe so.
Roll me a straight resolve.
Yeah, my last roll was real lucky.
Well done, Clifton.
Very well done.
One success.
You start to run for it, and the pitcher sees you out of the corner of his eye and starts to throw to third. Roll me one more, and let's see if you can pull this off.
I'm about to be out. I don't have very strong resolve. Nope. Nope. Not a goddamn thing.
Okay. Yeah, you are out. You're out, little Miss Babies, celebrating in their horrible little Miss Baby way. Connor just got you out, man.
I'm gonna flip him the bird.
You hate to see it happen to such a pro, folks.
So
start heading back towards the dugout.
Okay. So Connor's going to, pull him aside. He's gonna be like, "Hey."
Wait, hold on. Do I recognize him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, this is a dream, right?
So?
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, I figured.
All right, so we need to do some looking around in your memories. And right now, while this is kind of cool and shit, this is not really important. So let's take a couple steps back. Let's think. And this is your fucking rodeo, compadre. You tell me where the fuck we need to go. Actually, no, fuck that. I'm gonna tell you where we need to go.
Exactly. I'm like, you realize that this is just my dream. You're trying to find specific memories, and I have no idea what you're looking for.
Look, I've done this before.
Sure.
I'm just gonna tell you what I want you to focus on, and that's what we're gonna move to, and we're gonna try and do it together, and just do this as safely and quickly as possible.
Together.
Cool. All right. Connor is going to. Okay. Well, so he looks at Grudge and he's like, "I want you to think back to when we talked to after the whole library situation and we were given that errand by that cop and we had to go to that cabin. We all went together, but you don't remember a lot of the shit. You don't remember being there multiple times. I want you to think back. I want you to try and focus as hard as you can."
I don't mean to be contrarian, but I can't think back or remember something that did not happen. I could try and make some shit up, but I wasn't there. Again, I came back to the library. Y'all were gone.
Can I try to trigger his memories by
Yeah, roll me the same roll that we were doing before, the Wits Resolve Dream Travel.
Okay. 3 successes.
As you're trying to explain it to him, the scene around you guys starts to shift, kind of like they do in dreams. It's both abrupt and completely slow at the same time. It's moving yet stationary. 1 minute you're in the ballpark talking, and the next minute you're both kind of walking. And you too, Connor, like you're both just naturally suddenly walking while having your conversation, going through the front door of the library. And, you know, in the library is the D&D kids off in the corner, and the detective.
Okay, so we're back at that memory then. Do we see
as far as you know, you've pushed him to the library at least, and you guys are walking through the door.
Okay, is this which cycle is this? Like, would I recognize that? Do I?
No.
Okay, I'm going to try to observe to figure out which cycle if we're going back to a memory, like where we're at.
So as Dr. Grudge would relive it, he'd walk up to Detective Rivera, and, you know, I got a text. What's going on? Oh, I had to send your friends away. You know, we need them to get something. I can't believe you're not with them. That might be a big detriment. You would be very valuable on a thing like this. But I assure you, everything will be fine. They will come back, and then finally we can get a better hold on what's been going on here.
Connor is going to... What would I roll to, like, sense motive in this situation? Is there anything I could do? I don't trust that at all. Like, is there...
So, but you're rolling based on... You're viewing... based on Grudge's memory.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it's being said to Grudge would sound legit, because Grudge did believe him. Grudge has been working with this guy now. The way his memory would shape it, there's nothing about what he's saying that doesn't sound legitimate. Like, though the words you may not really buy, it's his delivery of it. It rings true. But you would also know, as a dream traveler, somebody who's done this a couple times, you're seeing it through rose-tinted glass. It's gonna play out how the rememberer remembers it.
Okay, so the only thing so 2 things. I would like to try to look around the library, including going into the back room area, where we got into the fight with the crazy lady, just like to try and figure out if that's still, like, consistent with what happened. And if not, after that, I want to try to push Grudge and I to the forest where the crocodile monster was, to try and, because, like, Connor knows that this is somehow connected to the dream world, and he's like, okay, well, fuck that. If we can't do this, we're going to go there, and we're going to, you know, try and, if that is the dream world, if we can access that through here, then we're going to go do it.
So as you go around the library, the restricted section, there's no door to it where it was before. The library is in a completely different order. The sections are different. The layout is different. The walls are different. The texture is different. Everything about this library is not the library as you remember it being.
Okay, so that's like a big red flag for Connor.
Well, but the thing is, when you went there last time, he's remembering the library as it's currently laid out now. You would recognize it as the last time you visited it, though the one thing you didn't look at was where that restricted section was, and what you're seeing now is that's gone. But what you got to remember is that the layout of this library is different now.
Okay, so Connor is going to be like, I think in his mind, and what he's been thinking for a while, is either this is all just a dream, this is all bullshit.
Sure, like, and at this point, you've done a couple of things. Grudge, what are you doing during this? You're remembering the night. Basically, these guys went missing.
Well, to be
Connor
fair,
is here now.
To be fair, after the conversation, if I'm just having to replay this out, after the conversation with the police officer, I sat and waited for them until the library closed, and then I sat in my car afterwards and I waited. So that's, if I'm just playing it through, that's what I would do. I didn't even go into the restricted section.
Right. So Connor, you would see like once the brief exchange is done, you're kind of looking around trying to find the restricted section, and you'll look back and see Grudge walking back out of the building.
Okay, so he's gonna grab Grudge and be like, "Look, this is bullshit, and I'm not getting any answers here. So we're gonna go in this dreamscape. We're gonna go to the forest. We're gonna go to the cabin. We're gonna go. So we got your car here in this dream world. Let's just ride that shit. It's like we could probably push ourselves to go there, but let's just drive and see what happens. And if I need to push, we'll push."
Sure. Okay. Fair enough. We could do that. I'm not very good with the dream walking or any of this, but can I ask some clarification questions here?
Sure. I mean,
we're looking at my dreams as if they were my memories. Am I spot on?
well, that's the problem. I'm trying, but everything that you're remembering, everything that we're re-experiencing is something that, to me, I don't think is true. I think it's something that's been fabricated, something that in your mind that you remember isn't necessarily what I believe to be the truth. It's not what I experienced, and it doesn't make sense. So I'm trying to push as far as we can into areas that I know are like,
well, just fair, to be clear, I have been to the forest, and I have been close to the cabin, at least within eyesight. So if we drive there, we're just gonna go back to probably about 3 days later when I went looking for y'all. Happy to do it. I just want you to understand that if it's memories we're going for, I know the place you're talking about. I've just never made it all the way to the cabin.
Is there any way I could try to like trigger his?
You can make that roll and see what you can do to try and.
If you were trying to push a memory that didn't exist, wasn't he inside the cabin in the loops?
The only way to find out is to try it. But if you want to try and,
I'm saying
to this memory.
I'm saying in the loops where he existed, but apparently, from what we can tell, didn't. Wasn't he in the cabin at one point?
Yeah,
that'd be one area. That'd be a great spot.
Connor's going to he's gonna kind of pull Grudge aside and kind of walking out to his car, and he's gonna motion for him to sit in the car, and he's gonna be he's gonna start describing the memories as he remembers them, like what happened to Grudge, and like through the first cycle, the second, the third, he's gonna start describing it as he remembers them. And as he's describing it, he's going to simultaneously try to push mentally Grudge to trigger that memory. So he's stimulating that within him, hopefully trying to get him there.
Wits resolve dream travel.
All right, here we go. Oh, it's not great. Oh, that's better. 3. Yet again.
So you're sitting in the car, and as you're describing this thing...
I have 6 fucking rolls on this, by the way. I keep getting 3 every fucking...
The scenery is changing. You're in a forest.
Can I expend willpower to try and push it more?
You can.
Cool. I'm going to expend 2 willpower... 3 willpower, actually, to try and push it more.
Okay. I thought we were marking those as instant successes. Isn't that what we were doing with the willpower pushes?
If you have 6, you can push another 3 willpower to get 6 successes total.
Okay, so I'm going to push 3 willpower to get 6 successes total then.
Okay. So that's a total of 9?
Yeah. I just got to find my pencil to mark it out. Yeah.
So as you're describing the stuff to Grudge, you can see him sitting in the car, thinking, focusing, trying to remember. And all the things you're describing are popping up. But it's not exactly how you remember it. It's how you're describing it. But it's not how you're remembering it. It's woods. There's a red barn. The mist is there, but it's wrong. The details of it are wrong. This isn't a memory. This is a thought. This is a creation.
He's basically fabricating what you're describing to him.
Exactly.
I'm inceptioning him right now.
Kind of.
Basically.
You're more pushing the idea than the idea is occurring naturally. And you can tell that. Like being a dream walker and doing this kind of thing. This is more your creation than his creation. Or, more your creation through his creation would be the way to put it.
Okay, so it's basically not working, essentially.
Right.
It's just, okay.
And actually, as you're pushing this and he's building, it all starts to kind of crescendo, and you guys start to wake up. It's the next morning. Dreamtime's fucked up, man. Things that take minutes or hours. So that was your dream travel.
Sick.
More what you should take from this. Grudge wasn't there, man.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm taking from it. So
Grudge wasn't there. As far as this dream has led you, or as far as Grudge's mind exists in its current state, there is no remnant, no trace, no existence within it where he was in that forest, where he was in that cabin, where he was chased, harmed, breathed upon by that crocodile.
Lucky
Okay,
summoner.
question. Last session we talked about the red stone, which we were going to the cabin to retrieve.
Yes.
Is that still unaccounted for, or do we know that the enemy has it?
It's unaccounted for.
Okay.
You know that Jack found something, but whatever that something was, you don't have it now. You don't know if the enemy has it. You don't know if it's still in the dreamscape. You don't know if it's the one that the ringtails have found. You don't have it.
It was a red stone, though. I did find a red stone.
Correct.
Okay, so Connor's processing this, and now in his head, he's like, all right, like he wakes up like sweating, like his eyes like roll back into place from the back of his head, and he's like, oh, okay, so it wasn't real. It was, he's like kind of starting to like lose it a little bit. He's like, that wasn't real. It's fine. It didn't happen. Grudge wasn't there. This isn't fucking okay. Wait, so if the stone, if it's in the dreamscape, if that's where it is, then but Jack got it. Maybe if I go into Jack's stream, maybe then I can get it there. Maybe I can get it there. Oh, okay. And he's like kind of like just like visibly like shaken.
Grudge,
sweating.
You wake up to Connor kind of muttering, pacing, running through some idea, mostly aloud, but to himself.
All right, I'm going to reach to my nightstand and just pour him a bottle of whiskey that I keep there. Well, not pour him, but hand it to him. Be like, I don't mean to be forward, but I think you need some of this to calm yourself down a little bit, son.
He just kind of like stops what he's doing, and he's like, takes a big like pull off the bottle. He's like, all right.
Whoa, it's not even 7:30 in the morning. Just slow down.
Wait, can I fill in Connor's line, please? Can I please fill in Connor's line?
Oh, I have like 2 really good ones to pick from already, but
I hope they're at least in the same vein as this, because I feel like it's the perfect thing.
All right, you tell me yours, and I'll tell you mine.
Oh shit, 7:30 already?
No. I was gonna say never tell me the odds.
The worst.
Well,
Or, you know, what would have been even worse would have been like, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
Never tell me.
No, I liked Don't Tell Me the Odds better.
You're dead to me.
Would have been more like, oh, it's noon somewhere. You know, so he takes like a big pull and he's like, kind of like sits down. He's like, all right, we went in there. I saw what I had to see. And basically, I tried to fucking inception you to try and trigger a memory that I thought might be laying dormant. Something that I thought was there, but apparently it's not. And so which is good in a way, and it sucks because it just basically means that my stubborn ass couldn't accept that reality is what it is. And now I know that whatever the rest of us experienced is not real. That was bullshit. At least to my understanding. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't do the job I had to do. And your memory is good enough. But I tried real fucking hard, Grudge. And
hold on. Real. Here's the thing, though. I'm not willing to say that what y'all went through wasn't real. You guys were gone for 2 years, so something happened. So
well, here's what I'm thinking, though. You weren't there.
I was not.
I don't think you really were. Like, before I thought that maybe somehow your memories had been tampered with so that we remember you being there, but you really weren't. In your mind, you weren't there. But now I'm starting to believe that that's not the case. Now I'm starting to believe that you really weren't there, and our memories had either been tampered with or we were transported to this dreamscape, which I fucking, like, if anything, I feel dumber than shit for not realizing that we were there in the first place. I mean, I don't even fucking know, but
well, as
processing this shit in my head and these constant, like, it makes sense that it would be a fucking dreamscape. It makes sense, and I'm fucking kicking myself in the ass for not recognizing it because it's a constant repetitive cycle where things we're trying to fucking accomplish something and we're failing at it like a nightmare. But the first time we got that stone the first time, and then after that, everything got fucked up. So I'm thinking maybe if I go into Jack's stream now, maybe I can find some answers there. He's the one who found it. I don't know. Tell me if I'm crazy.
No, well, here's the thing, though. I don't believe you got transported into the dreamscape or the dream world. As far as we know, and this comes from, like I said, 2 years of doing a bit of research and getting read into some of these things, that there's a thin spot near the cabin to the dreamscape. We know that much. The hardest part was, well, first off, anytime I got close, there was loud noises and mist and the beast that y'all keep talking about. The hardest part was trying to recreate that thinning to try and get y'all's out. But like I said, I believe I was able to accomplish that. So I don't know if going through Jack's head is gonna do anything. Obviously, I don't understand your process, but just putting that out there.
Now, mind you, are you just talking in your bedroom amongst the two of you still?
I thought you were there watching us to make sure you were all right.
Wasn't. No, originally we were supposed to have somebody there watching, but I think everybody else was doing their own thing, and it was just.
Oh, all right.
They gave up on that shit.
I thought Jack was there making sure we didn't
Well, I was supposed to be there in the morning, but I mean, like, I don't know how long this was going to take. If this was just if I'm gonna stand over the bed all night long while you fuckers are just like sleeping. I mean, I'd fall asleep too.
I don't know. Pull up a chair.
I think Connor is going to. Like, all right, we should talk to the rest of the group about this. We should come up with a plan. Look, if I can go to the dream world on my own, I don't know if I should do it in my own head. I don't know if I should do it in somebody else's head. I don't know if we should all get in a car right now, drive to the cabin, and try to get through this thin spot you're talking about. I don't know. But I think we should go talk to everybody first and see what answers, what come to some type of agreement, because we're not in this alone. You know, we're working as a team, so we need everybody's input here.
Sounds fair.
So Connor's going to walk back into the main area of the house, living room, and question, does Connor see the painting that Rudolph made?
Sketch. It was in a book, so no.
Sketch. Okay. All right.
So, all right, we're what's Sky doing right now? Are we all in the living room, or?
I passed out trying to figure out what's going on with my clientele.
She passed out trying to get a John to give her some money. Let's be real.
Tired from motherfucking.
And while I was on the phone, I was also organizing my purse.
Connor's gonna kind of relay what happened in the dream world to everyone and kind of let them know that, like, hey, like, I put out so much energy trying to access a part of his mind that I thought might have been tampered with, but it turns out that it hasn't been. So we're really all in the fucking wrong here. And now we got to try and figure out where to go from here.
Well, you're assuming that this dreamscape is like regular time and that it just flows in one direction. We may have dealt with grudge, but it may not have been grudge right now. We may end up going back into the dreamscape later and he ends up getting thrown back. Who's to say? I don't understand this shit.
You could be right, but I think the grudge here now
Go ahead.
doesn't remember what we remember. And I think, like, to me right now, experiencing this reality as it is right here, right now, is telling me, like, my gut is telling me we need to go to the cabin and we need to go from there.
I mean, I've lost 2 years. What's another, 2 more?
Yeah, fuck it. For all you know, this might be another fucking dream. This might be a dream within a dream. This might be fucking some Inception shit. You have no fucking idea. I have no fucking idea. All I know is I know how to cruise around in there a little bit, but that's all I really fucking know.
Well, before we just head back over to the cabin, I think maybe y'all should talk to the chief first.
Who's chief?
The policeman.
Oh, fucking! You calling him chief now?
No,
Fuck.
no, the chief of police, not the detective. I mean,
That makes it better.
the chief of police is he kind of sort of runs this little merry band of whatever you call it.
His name, Eduardo?
Say again?
Do you have his name?
I do not. I don't think so.
I'll ping it to you right now.
Yeah, I
Got
know.
a McDonut-eating pig? Don't matter.
Wow.
Wait, hold on. Don't you have a relationship with the police, Jack? Aren't you on their approved
I
consultant
was,
list?
because they brought me in as a coroner a few times. But, I mean, it's not like I was on their payroll.
Oh, all right. I for some reason I got the impression that you had worked with him professionally in the past.
Well, I mean, I've worked with the police before, but, I mean, is it the same chief of police? And honestly, I doubt I spoke with him personally. I'm sure I went through a subordinate of some kind.
Well,
It doesn't strike me as someone who would get his own hands dirty.
well, the chief is he's not just the chief of police. He's also he's a member of the lodge. I'm not. He's not the head of the lodge, but he is the person with the most authority that I've been interacting with.
Eduardo, just so you know,
Evan, did you get my pen?
Say again?
I just saw it, but I haven't read it yet. Eduardo, don't use the name I sent you. I sent you the name of a chef and not the chief.
Fair enough. If y'all are hungry, my personal chef can come by. And...
Fuck you. That's the name of the chief, you pizza fuck.
Devin, you just glitched the Matrix, bro.
I did. I just broke everything.
I'm a little hungry.
Jack, have you ever worked with Jim Cosgrove?
I'm assuming I would have.
I thought you weren't from this town.
Connor.
I worked in this town at the hospital, and part of my at this level of professionalism, it says that I would have the ability to work with the PD as well as run the depending on which branch of medicine I did. Which with my branch
Sure.
of medicine, I would have.
I would say then that you're more familiar with the name. Like, you've met the guy, but you're not like, that's my boy, he'd know me by name kind of thing.
Oh no, no,
You're
it's more of
you
I
know
brought-
the name.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be more like I was brought in to consult on a couple of cases that were having a more traumatic touch, where they needed a
Sure.
trauma head of medicine to take a look and diagnose.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. So like you'd have a vague rapport with him, but not
Right.
much other than that. And then Connor, based on what you're saying, yeah, you'd at the very least know the name, and you'd have a loose familiarity. Like the familiarity would be more with your family than you in particular, but there is a familiarity there.
I feel like maybe at some point he probably talked to him.
Right, and that's what I mean. Like you've talked, but it's not like we went over to his house for dinner on Sundays. Like, it's not that kind of thing. It's more there was a thing, he
Only
worked with
related
you
to
on
that
that thing, but it doesn't really go too much outside of being related to that thing.
All right, so I think Connor probably just more the name, and then he kind of just like doesn't really say anything. Yeah.
So I do feel like that's probably the next best step before we go heads first into any other sort of cabin visit. Like I said, I tried it many times, and I just couldn't quite make it there. Always had to turn right back.
Did anything else happen while like I was
Holy
Grudge and I
shit.
were gone? Did anything of substance happen? Did anybody?
My apologies.
You
What's all-
became a horrible jitter robot for a couple seconds, so let's just assume we didn't hear anything you just said, and let's do all that over again.
Okay. Did anything happen while Grudge and I were in the dream world? Did anything else of importance happen? Anybody? Nothing substantial? No.
That's for you guys to tell him. He's asking you guys.
Yeah.
No, not really. I'm just trying to figure out who I need to get in contact with at the lodge so I can try to reach out to my sister, who apparently thinks I've been dead for 2 years, as well as to try to rebuild my life. So
I think we're all kind of waiting because it was the warning of be careful who you talk to. We kind of want some more explanation on that, so we gotta go.
That's why I figured we should at least maybe it doesn't have to be in person. We do have video messaging nowadays, but we definitely should talk to the chief before we go half-cocked doing anything.
So as you guys are kind of having this morning conversation, there is a knock at the door.
It is my house, so I will obviously go answer the door.
Connor's going to hide.
Connor like throws himself in a coat closet. So standing there is was it Jim Rivera? Why
Nope.
don't I have this in
Nope.
front of me? Ernesto Rivera. There it is.
That's
Ernesto Rivera, the lead detective. Hey, how's it going? I have some news for you guys. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Well, come on in, have some coffee.
So Rivera walks in, greets everybody who's not hiding in a coat closet.
By
Gentlemen?
the way, I said I'm behind the couch, so as he walks in, he's going to like just slowly raise up behind the couch.
Oh, good. You're all here. That will help, I guess. Gentlemen, lady, it's good to see you all. I'm glad everybody's okay. I'm glad everybody's back. This is a good thing. So I'm sure that it has been a pretty heavy day. I'm sure nobody's really happy with how things have worked out. And, you know, I sympathize with you, really. It's been hell on this side of things as well. So let me assure you, everything you've come to fear is probably true. You've lost homes, spouses, jobs. All of these things are in a complete mess. There is good news. The police department is ready to offer all of you a running gig as a consultant. Regular pay, 5 days a week. Hours are come and go as you will. Really, honestly, truly, we could use your help. I'm more than sure that Dr. Grudge has filled you in on several different things. Hopefully nothing that I'm going to ruin for you right now. My organization could really use some help. And you guys seem to be on the ground level, and even better, nobody thinks you're around anymore. I can be reasonably sure that me, Dr. Grudge, and a couple of people at the library who I've had a long conversation with are the only ones who know you're back. And nobody here is going to say anything. We could really use your help. Things are in a very dire state. What do you say? I will bring you all on, regular pay, good benefits, dental. They'll fix your teeth. It's good.
So, out of game real quick,
Mhm.
You do realize I've been saying I'm trying to contact my old...
Yeah, this would be in the early morning, and remember your phone doesn't work, so you haven't had a chance to really do that yet, but you
I've been
still
trying.
can. I mean, on what? Like, your phone is dead. You'd have to get a whole new contract set up. Like, it's not the kind of thing you can just do from his couch.
And
Bald
guaranteed,
fucking Rudolph.
after 2 years, someone else will have had your number.
Yeah, fair enough.
Those companies don't. After days have passed, they give out the number to someone else.
Sometimes hours, bro.
Yeah, it's
All right. Then in game, I'm gonna be like, well, I guess my and I slowly glance at the cop. Old friends wouldn't be able to help me out anymore. So I guess I'll go ahead.
That's another perk of this kind of job. It's no questions asked. Who
So I
you
guess-
people are is who you people are, and the department, at least as far as Carpenter Organ is concerned, is none of our business, none of our problem. We need you specialists to do very special jobs, and everything is A-okay here.
I'm just gonna go. I have a sister that I was very close to. I'm assuming you're telling me I can't get in touch with her?
I don't want to use words like can't. Nobody is considered legally dead until 7 years, and you are way below that mark. Everything should be fine there. Though I would ask that more discretion is better, and if you feel that your sister is the kind of person you can trust, to tell no one, and you can keep this communication on the very discreet, everything will be fine.
I'll think about how to word it. I've been missing for 2 years. Another couple days isn't.
I'm sure a lot of people have very worried family, and I would not want to keep you from them, but I would want to stress that we are at a distinct advantage, as long as less people know that you are back than more.
I'll turn and look at the detective and go, all right, I'm in, but I want a badge.
Specialists don't get a badge as much as a laminated pass, but if you want to tell yourself it's a badge, I think that could be just as valuable.
But I want a badge.
It's not really a thing.
But you could make me one.
I'm not the guy who makes badges.
You could order me one.
No, I really can't. I'm also not the guy who orders badges. I'm a detective.
You could draw a little gold star on the pass.
That I could do.
That was not in character. I'm sorry.
It is now, motherfucker.
Question.
I like to bust up my badge and show it to them. It looks like this.
Okay, he has a
question.
badge. It's a very different situation.
No.
No, I want his badge.
No, it's actually called the badge, but it's not a shield. You're talking about a shield.
No, I said I didn't say I wanted. I didn't say I want a shield. I said I want a
Okay,
badge.
Connor
This
has a
badge-
real problem. Let's do
Yeah,
that.
I have a real fucking question here. So, in terms of acquiring information or fulfilling tasks, things like that, to further the ends of your organization, whoever the fuck they really are, like, does this kind of like an ends justify the means kind of situation? Like, because that's really where all my talents lie.
This is the kind of situation where I'm going to ask you to do things as a specialist and not as a member of the police force.
Cool, we're on the same page then. Sounds great.
Now, being that we are consultants and specialists that work outside the department, I don't need to work through the bureaucracy and all that, and that's fine. But what about, like, there are limitations to certain things that a civilian is limited to that law enforcement is not. Being that I am a consultant, does that mean I have a bit of a higher grade where I can have access to things that would not necessarily be available to most civilians?
I will not be going on the record and saying that you can do anything that would be illegal or anything that is outside of the law. Other than that, you have the full cooperation of the Carpenter, Oregon Police Force and any means that we can reasonably acquire for you.
Okay, so if I wanted to get an upgraded firearm that is within law enforcement, not military, but law enforcement grade, that is acceptable?
That is the thing that we can look into doing as long as the budget permits.
So,
Fair.
say for instance, let me give you an example. Say for instance, I need to go somewhere, and that particular place happens to be locked or barred or windowed, and I wanted to get into there.
I feel like this is getting to a very scary place, and it's the kind of thing where if I don't know that it happens and can reasonably assume that it didn't, you should shut the fuck up.
Well, I'm just saying.
Connor, my friend, come here.
I'm just speaking hypothetically. That's all.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I got the answer I needed, and I can easily answer those questions for you based on his response.
I'm pretty sure he means that we have some, we'll just say leniency with the law, but we're not above it.
Oh,
I
for
didn't
sure.
say,
Also,
and I would just like to go on record saying that I did not say those words.
yeah,
The
for sure.
detective doesn't need to know how sausage is made.
But can you like keep my name out of like any of this, like publicly? Is that a thing?
I am willing to say the words that I have spoken and then no other words regarding the subject.
Fucking call.
Okay, so
Fucking employer?
Oh, listen, bro. Believe me, being dead is nothing but doing me a favor in the eyes of the law and everybody else. And I have no problem making money on my own, but
I'm gonna hand him a shot.
that means to an end. But
just out of curiosity, you said this was a contracted gig. What does it pay?
Yeah, what's the terms of the contract?
Okay, I'm not going to discuss actual numbers with you assholes right now, but it's enough for you fucks to live on.
I made great money at where I was, so this is going to be a downgrade.
If you had to put a dot rating on it, what would it be?
That's a fucking great question, actually. That's fair, Devin.
Probably a 2.
It's a 3 to 4 dot.
Oh,
That's significant.
oh, that's money right there.
Carpenter's PD is pulling out all the stops, boys.
Well, you're all from California except for Colin. It's Oregon pay. It's not California pay.
Still.
It's like, whoa, it's nice right there.
Well, and
that could buy me a cardboard box in Boston.
Yeah, eh?
And to be fair, Oregon may not actually may funnel money to its PD, unlike California, where they just steal the money.
Right. I realize we don't have that much time left, but I gotta pee. So y'all figure out something you want to do next.
all right, and if I'm being honest, let's just say that I'm assuming there's more than just public funds going into the operation. But I haven't confirmed anything. I'm just guessing her.
Well, when he gets back, the last thing I had was, are we going to have like a, since we're technically not working inside of the PD, are we going to have our own little like base of operations? Because, you know, rocking it out here at your pad's all nice and all, but I really don't want to do it anymore.
To be fair, though, the house we're in right here is going to be the base of operations. It has several rooms, and the basement has the bit of a lab that I keep after I left the university. Well, not keep, but build.
So I'm gonna run this by Devin when he gets back. But the neighborhood where my bar used to be, like the suburb and out past that, is warehouse turned residential, and it's mentioned in my backstory. So I'm gonna ask him. But you could always see about getting the police bring for a warehouse for us.
I don't really care if you've got the big enough space. I just want to convert an area into a medical area.
So outside of the strict character, the house that I bought after getting out of the or while I was in the major league. So it's a decent house. It's not a muck mansion, but it's a decent house.
Okay.
So, I mean, we don't have to.
How is everybody feeling? What are we all thinking? Does it sound like agreeable enough terms? What can I do for you?
Since we won't be working out of the precinct, is there a place that your contractors typically work out of? Or do they just come and go and float around as they please?
Look, it's not a desk job, man. I'm hiring you to do some work for my organization under the guise of the police department, and all you need to know is that everything is covered to make this look like it's okay.
Fine. I guess I will.
That's what I wanted to fucking hear.
You shouldn't get too excited. Shut the fuck up.
Whatever you say, boss.
Now that is what I like to hear.
He does it very sarcastically.
Same answer.
Fine. No further questions.
Does Connor have does he still have a picture? Never mind, I'll just PM it to you.
But yeah, all right.
Everybody else is in. Sky, Rudolph, Squid, Grudge. Yeah. Well, Grudge, you already worked there. Shut the fuck up.
Rudolph has been casting about trying to gauge everyone else's reaction, and as soon as he's realized that everyone is in, he's nodding.
Okay.
I'll walk up to the officer, hug him, and say, "Thank you, boss," and intentionally pressing my breast against his chest and wink as I walk back.
Okay, that's inappropriate, but we'll move on. Perfect.
Already have to give Sky the workplace pamphlet.
Hey, some are just a little more ambitious to climb the ladder.
Remember, it's for an organization, guys. It's the police. We're not part of the police.
Connor is going to be like, Vera, question, and he's gonna like pull out his wallet, and he's gonna pull out like a little small picture, and he's gonna hand it to him, and he's like, the man in this picture, do you recognize him at all?
Recognize him, sure.
Oh, you do? Well, can you tell me what you know?
In terms of what?
Anything.
His name's Darkholm. He's around when he needs to be. This is not the time for this kind of thing, my friend. This is a thing. I am more than sure it will come up. For now, there are matters that require your attention to a better degree.
Like going and fetching the red fucking stone like we've been trying to do for the past 2 fucking years?
The red stone is too dangerous. It was a miscalculation, and I cannot apologize enough on behalf of myself and the entire organization. It was a mistake, and you never should have been sent on that mission. Having said that, it's not off of our list. It's more just not an immediate need.
So right. That being said, no compensation.
Now that you've got us on contract.
So then what do you want from us right now?
What I want from you in the minute is to rest, regain your strength. Things are not pretty from here. Dr. Grudge, how much have you told them? What do they know? Do they know who we're up against, what we're after here, or am I having to fill in all of the blanks for you?
I know I filled them in as far as the organization that we're up against and the fact that they already have some of the stones, but they know as much as I do at this point.
Good. Well, that's as much as any of you need to know. Gentlemen, it's a matter of life and death. If they get all of these stones before we can, there's no way of predicting what will happen and what will come of this. It is a complete unknown. It could be the death of everyone. It could be death of someone in particular. Maybe it's nothing, but it's not a risk that we are willing to take. This organization has done nothing but wrong in our eyes as of this far. And now we've had enough in this town. We've had enough in this organization, and things just need to be brought to a stop. Carpenter can use normalcy.
Ain't that the truth?
So, the last 2 years have been really focused for me on finding these gentlemen and the lady over there. Where are we going from here? My task is complete.
Correct. Your task is complete, and I do have something new for you, for all of you. What we need now is information. Pure information. All we know is that our member, Shelley, died, infiltrating this group and finding what she could about these stones. There are 5 of them. They reside in 5 different planes. Unfortunately, what we don't know is which stones are and are not acquired by the members of this organization. And unfortunately, that is the best as to we can refer to them at this point.
I'm pretty sure they have one.
They have 2. We have 1.
Huh. Wrong way.
That leaves 2 more completely unknown.
Which one do you have?
The one that we have comes from what we call the astral space, a purple stone.
Okay. Which ones are still missing?
Well, all of the other ones. The stone from the primordial dream, where you gentlemen have been residing, the red stone. The one from the shadow realm, the black stone. I know you acquired this. Since it is no longer in our possession. We don't know where it's gone. We can reasonably assume that the cult has a hold of this, but we have no way of confirming this information. The stone from Arcadia, green, is also somewhere out there. Based on the intel of the man downstairs, we can reasonably assume it's still in Arcadia, and the only known entry to Arcadia is under our control. Then leaves the problem of the 5th stone. We don't know where the 5th stone is. The last stone is in astral space. Also not a great place to go, and not a place any of us have been willing. But we know it's there, as dangerous as it is to be there.
Well, for what it's worth, which I don't know how useful this information is technically to you, but in the primordial dream, I did find the redstone. I actually had it in my possession for a period of time. As to those dreams kept overlapping so much, I don't know which is real and which wasn't. But I do know that after each subsequent trip to the dream, I was not able to find the stone in its location.
Well, and unfortunately, the more information that Dr. Grudge was able to drum up about the primordial dream, it's very unpredictable. What you found may have been a legitimate stone. It may have been your fabrication of the stone. It may have been one of your fabrication of the stone. It may have been all of your fabrication of the stone. We have no way of knowing. The primordial dream is one of the hardest realms to travel through.
Well, I did not know what necessarily I was looking for, but I
Sure.
can quick sketch you what I found, and you can tell me whether or not this is what it's supposed to look like.
Any and all information is helpful, but unfortunately, I think this is one of those moments where you, our specialists, are going to know more than we know.
Fair
The
enough.
Primordial Dream is not at all a mapped location. Shoot, there's more information on Arcadia than there is of the Primordial Dream. The Primordial Dream is ever changing, ever shifting, and seems to respond mostly to the people who are in it. Or
So-
beings, if that term suits you better.
So what tasks are you going to set to us?
Honestly, we need information. We need to know who we're up against, what they have, what they know, everything.
Have a suggested course of action for us to help you gather that information, or do you want us to go about it on our way?
You all have your specialties, and we are trusting that our specialists are good enough at what they do to gather the information that we need.
Fair enough.
We have minor leads that may help lead you in the correct direction, but honestly may end up being as dead ends as ones that we have run into in the past.
Since we are consultants and such, is there any way or opportunity I would have the ability or access to look at or familiarize myself deeper in some of the things that you have found, like about Arcadia, about these different areas, basically researching the occult?
Most of what you need is available in the charter member section of the library, and I believe Dr. Grudge should be able to get you in there no problem. Miss Jenkins has been made civil about the situation and should allow your passage with little to no difficulty.
All right.
Seeing as how that was an unintended side effect to Miss Jenkins, is there a way to rectify what has happened there?
Believe me, it's something that is high up on our list. Miss Jenkins is a key member of our group. She knows more about the supernatural and the occult than damn near anybody we have in our ranks. But unfortunately, every avenue we've tried to run down has led to nothing.
Yeah, see, this is why I wanted to, before we headed there, that section, I wanted to make sure that, first off, y'all were clear to go in there, and secondly, that Miss Jenkins was at least given a heads up. I wasn't involved in the nasty business of what happened to her, so I think she tolerated me at best.
Well, she wasn't too thrilled with you because you went exploring over there anyway without permission. You just didn't drop the stone in the library, as I look at Sky.
Remember, I didn't drop it. I threw it.
Because that's better.
Yeah, it's not better. All right, so I guess that's probably where we should start first. I mean, it's obviously to me, so I say research is the best way to go, but it's served me so far.
I think personally, I don't think we all need to be there for that. I think whoever's most well suited to gathering information in that way can go do that. I think I have my own leads that I'd like to pursue.
I don't mind going to the library. I want to do the research, but at the same time, I also want to stop off and pick up a little bit better hardware in case if we need it.
Yeah, what I would say though is before we go running off anywhere, why don't we at least decide an area of study or a focus of sorts? Because otherwise, it sounds like last time. And first off, I don't think we should get separated again. This is
So, I have an idea on that. The entrance to Arcadia is currently controlled by our side. It's also the one that they have the most information on. Why don't we take a look at the one that we know where to get to? We have more information of. Why don't we see about that as our bigger focus? See if we can get another stone for us.
Son, I don't mean to be condescending, but do you know what Arcadia is?
Not entirely, but I'm sure you're about to give me a whole hell of a picture.
I'm not gonna give you a whole picture. All I know is that there are beings in there, from what I'm told, because I've never been, that can make you believe that your head's your ass and that you like it that way.
If anybody would like to roll, we'll call it intelligence occult, now would be the time to do that.
Yep. This is why I want to increase my knowledge of the occult for this reason.
3 successes.
Hey, I got a 10 on a percentile chance.
So you roll another.
Wait, no, I thought the chance dice. It's
It was a chance die. I got a 10 on a chance. Does that mean I re-roll?
No, that means you're good.
No, I'm good.
I thought an 8 or
I'm
a
good.
9 was you were good, and a 10 you still got to re-roll even on a chance.
Yeah, what's the point? It's 100 and something percent at that point.
Chance die. I got it.
Fair.
All right.
Either way, 7 successes.
Rudolph,
Just got one.
1, and Sky.
9 on a chance.
Nice. Okay, so it seems like Connor, you got 3. Ark, what did you get?
I just got the 1.
So everybody but Rudolph and Ark seem to be kind of more in the know about this. What you guys would know about Arcadia, it's folklore, it's legend, it's kind of occult bullshit.
It's shit people talk about when they get drunk.
Well, Sky would know it because she had member to the charter member section before. It's something she's ran across. Jack has done a lot of occult research. Connor probably has heard buzzings about this sort of through the underground, more like items coming through something called Arcadia, which he just kind of figured was code for a smuggling ring. And Squid, you would hear probably buzzings around town about this kind of thing. Arcadia is the land, according to myth, according to folklore, goblins, leprechauns, fairies. It's kind of Narnia. It's this great, ever-expanding garden and hedge maze and jungle and forest and land of mythic creature.
The Feywild.
You wouldn't know it as that, but yes.
Hey, I read the Narnia books. I would know what Narnia is.
That'd be the best line that you could draw.
Hopefully without the religion.
Yeah, it's a lot less Jesus-y than the original, but Narnia, that's the best line you could draw to it.
The irony is, as a kid, I never got the Jesus references. But
though I will say, as opposed to Narnia, this is much less civilized. Think of it as a little more of a wild Narnia before any kingdoms and things are launched.
Yeah.
I think it might ring a bell for Connor too, because he's like super Irish, so that might line
Sure,
up with
yeah. You'd know the tales of the old world and the fairies and the trolls and the goblins and yeah. The Morgan. All of these things come from that place.
So yeah, as I was saying, I don't know if that's something we're quite ready for.
Yeah, that's fucking sketch.
I just need to go to the store and pick up some upgrades. Otherwise, I'm fine with it.
So okay, Art, Grudge, what do you think the thing that we should be focusing on is?
I think that we should go into the restricted section and we try to see what information we have on these places, and then make our determination based on that. We, as a team here, which is what it sounds like we're going to have to do from now on, we haven't quite caught our stride.
Well,
Okay.
I originally was all for going and doing the research first.
Yeah, no, I know, but y'all started talking about splitting up and that kind of thing, and I don't know if that's really the way to go. This might sound kind of weird, but I'm half expecting y'all to disappear again. So I figure if we're gonna go to the loony bin, we're gonna go to the loony bin together.
Drive, monkey, drive.
Well, considering that my last 2 years was an endlessly repeating hell that I was told
Hey, it felt
to
like
go
2
do.
days for you.
I was chased every
Oh.
goddamn time, you son of a bitch.
Did I forget to mention you all gained 1 willpower from sleeping during that night?
Oh,
Yes,
right.
you did.
Yeah, sorry, you all would have gained 1 willpower back.
Sweet. All right, let's go to library.
First things
Okay.
first, I'm going to swing by and pick up a shotgun.
Okay, we're at 8:55. We will cut. So take note on what you guys want to do for next week. Maybe people show up
No,
next
not
week,
next
and we
week.
won't lose out on. Oh yeah, not next week, but next session, and maybe we won't lose out on a half an hour because Colin can't figure out how to turn on a computer. Love
Bro.
you, smooches.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Computer, I have work and I have a life. So
Jobs are made up.
All
Lives are made
right.
up.
And on that note, have a good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the folks in the chat. We will not be here for next week's episode, but we will be back for the following. Also, catch the 5D podcast Monday nights here on this channel, 7 to 9. Nope, that's not it at all. 7 to 8 Pacific.
There you go.
All right. And on that note, bye.
Bye.